Season 1 of the hit psychological drama Yellowjackets left us with many unanswered questions. In between the lying, cheating, and deceit, these former soccer players know just when to tone down the darkness. But with fresh blood on their hands, will they be able to run from the errors of their past? As we prepare ourselves for the gore that awaits us in Season 2, let's discuss some of our favorite fan theories. First up, the past catches on. In Season 1, after being anonymously threatened, the survivors gather and try to dig up clues to reveal the identity of the person who's threatening their buried past. The show has been praised as a terrifying, almost supernatural thriller, and its implied cannibalism is what makes it so gory. After all, our characters had to survive somehow, and even if schizophrenic Lottie did prophesize them finding food, their sacrifices to the wilderness were proof of just how dreadful things could get. Particularly for Shauna, who seems to suppress a lot of the darkness inside of her. In the present day, she cheats on her husband and has an affair with Adam, who then ends up dead because of her, and she has no problem chopping up his body after ruthlessly stabbing him. Yikes. However, she doesn't call it a murder, by the way. Maybe too many killings just desensitize the word for her. Anyway, if you think Shauna was twisted, then maybe you don't pay too much attention to Misty, who planned to sever Adam's head and cremate it along with a former patient of hers who passed away. Talk about the perfect cover-up. Again, yikes. Next, who's the girl in the pit? Now, this one ranks pretty high on our crazy fan theory radar. When fans didn't see Jackie in the present timeline, they assumed she was dead. While the finale of Season 1 did show us that she probably froze to death, the ominous message by Jeff threw us off a bit. Jackie's dream has been boggling our minds and making us question if she really did make it out alive. Perhaps she faked her death, but the Jackie we know couldn't have acquired such street smarts, which makes one wonder, maybe the forest did change her, just like it did our current Yellowjackets, or maybe the dream was just the in-between. Ever since the series premiere, fans keep wondering, who is the pit girl from the opening scene? Could it be Mary, or could it be someone entirely new? Or could it really just be Jackie, and we've been going around in circles? And now, a reunion for Nat? Natalie's fate also drew concern from the fans. A heavy day drinker and drug abuser in her teens and a frequent rehabilitation facility visitor, Natalie's life has never known peace. Although she is one of the more relatively morally aligned out of the crazy bunch, her time in the forest too painted her gray. Her surpassed lust for presumably human meat was not left unnoticed by fans, but as she's about to slip away to her demons, seconds away from pulling the trigger, she gets an unexpected visit from a cult. And as she's taken away, it's revealed that Lottie Matthews, a fellow former Yellowjacket and schizophrenic, is alive and well. Up next, the Antler Queen continues to reign. Ever since the revelation of Lottie being alive in the present day was revealed, whispers around the Antler Queen's identity have only become louder. Although it is pretty obvious that Lottie would be the one to take on the role, there was never any on-screen confirmation that it was indeed her. The present-day Yellowjackets were never aware that their former teammate would be alive 20 years later. But now that they know she's out there somewhere, what if her little role during their 19-month wilderness hostage wasn't the only time she exercised her power? What if the Antler Queen had spread her influence beyond the margins of the forest? And now for Thaisa, the believer with baggage. Speaking of Lottie and the cult, fans also believe that Thaisa is a part of her cult too. The offerings discovered by Thaisa's wife, Simone, were probably a nod to the recurring thought viewers have had throughout the season, that maybe Thaisa is a believer after all. Regardless of her denying it, fans were quick to point out the similarities between Lottie's first offering and the severed head in the basement. And as gruesome as that sounds, this show sure does love its severed heads. Next we have Misty, the mindful serial killer. Okay, this one might just be true. Some fans believe that because of teen Misty's saturated obsession with Ben, adult Misty might just be a serial killer. Her MO? Preying on men who have wronged her. And unfortunately, assistant coach Ben is a part of that list. We know that she has a weird second bedroom in her basement, so maybe that's where she locks her targets before killing them. She is a nurse after all, and they know their medications blindfolded. Misty is brilliantly extremely skillful at what she does, and her mannerisms are a bit too perfect for a first-timer, which really makes one think just how much is she letting on. Next, is Coach Ben the mystery man from the opening credits? The strange man from the opening credits scene has also been getting a lot of attention. Fans speculate that it may be assistant coach Ben, but what if he's the French-Canadian? Whoever he is, his appearance was no lucky coincidence, and we definitely get our answers in the next chapter. And now, what happened to Shauna's baby? Another theory that's probably a bit too much, but not off the table, is about the fate of Shauna's baby. We know that the group eventually gives in to their bloodlust and resorts to cannibalism, but what if it all started with Shauna's baby? We know that Shauna came clean about the pregnancy to Jackie, but we don't know what actually happened to the baby. Did it miscarry? Did it succumb to the extremely poor living conditions? Or did it survive and was lunch meat for the newly turned cannibals? Guess we'll have to wait and see, but in our opinion, it's highly unlikely that the baby survived and was put up for adoption by Shauna. It just seems too normal for the show. So if you're someone who wants to spend their Friday nights binging a gripping new show, then Yellowjackets just might be the pick for you. However, full disclosure, just don't eat anything while watching it and don't say we didn't warn you. And now for other news. Starting with the showrunners shun the theory about Jackie's diary. When Jackie's diary was revealed to reference the 1997 classic film Titanic, fans were quick to notice the discrepancy in the timelines. If Jackie really was dead, then how come her diary referenced pop culture beyond the date of the plane crash? Could it be that she's alive and something happened to her after they were rescued? Or was it just a clumsy loophole and should be left ignored? However, this theory didn't last long. Showrunners were quick to shun this, saying the diary entries were written by Shauna as a way to cope with survivor's guilt. Next, Adam was not supposed to meet such a gory end. Chopped up and now a pile of ashes, it was revealed that Adam was never supposed to have such a gory end when the show was first conceived. Showrunner Lisko slipped up Adam's original fate in the show, and as many fans theorized, Adam was originally supposed to be Javi, who came back into Shauna's life to vex her and the rest of the Yellowjackets. But the creators argued that it didn't feel right to give Adam that backstory, and hence the tragic end to Adam's life was penned down. And now, production begins in late August. Earlier this month, the showrunners hinted at being in the writer's room for season 2, and confirmed that production for the second installment may begin in late August. This means we might just see the Yellowjackets returning to our screens sooner than we think. If the show follows the airing schedule of season 1, then season 2 could be on our winter watch list, but we won't know for sure until the actual date is released. Let's all cross our fingers and hope it returns on time. Finally, who can we expect to see in season 2? Even though the murder sprees in season 1 might have put an end to the return of most characters, the majority of the cast, especially our Yellowjackets, will all be coming back with their younger and older counterparts alike. Does this mean we finally get to see older Lottie? God, we hope so, but apparently she's not the only grown-up Yellowjacket we have yet to see. While no new castings have been made public yet, showrunners have revealed that not only will we see an adult Lottie, but we might just also get a glimpse of an older Van too. Not only that, but now that our girls are back at murdering people and covering up left and right, we can expect to see more people digging their noses into the past of these women. And we just hope they don't kill every single one of them. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about the Yellowjackets and their uncanny ways of survival? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.